heard preaching out of the book of Revelation all my life. Preachers were telling it. They were saying, you know, look, people, at some point they're going to come in with guns and they're going to take all of our Bibles away. I remember getting a Gideon King James Bible when I was in 5th grade. That was back when they could give them out in public schools. And I took that Bible, and God put it in my heart. I'd said, you know what? I don't want to take my Bible away. I'm a Christian, young boy. And I took that red little New Testament King James Bible they give out to kids in school, and I hid that up in the attic of our house under the insulation. And I said, you know what? If they come in my house and take all the Bibles, they won't know that one's there. And after they leave, I'll still have a Bible. I love the Bible. The devil has tried to take away my Bible. See, I come from, these are the guys I used to hang around with. I didn't know that the devil was trying to take this away from me. Okay? I didn't know that there was actually an active plan even then to take all the Bibles away from people. They never had to fire a shot. Never had to fire a shot. You see, all the Bibles now, all these King James Bibles, go to a church now, find out what they're using. In almost every case, this is the company they're hanging around. And everybody's carrying these Bibles. That's what you find at the bookstores, and that's what they've walked away from this. People handed them in voluntarily. See, I don't think the false prophet is going to force anyone to get a mark. He's just going to set up a situation where they're all going to do it voluntarily. That's what's happened here. So I have a problem with that. Anyway, back to the NIV. He also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on his right hand or on his forehead. That's a big, one letter. One letter is changed, and it makes a big difference. See, if it's on my right hand, everybody could see it. He's got a mark. You know, I wouldn't. You know, getting in and out of amusement parks, they want to stamp your hand. I wouldn't let them stamp my right hand. You do that one. You're not putting a mark on this hand. Okay, a mark. So all of these people that are reading and they're studying all these Bibles here, they're going to say, you know what? If they come and they try to put a mark on my right hand or on my forehead, I'm not going to let them do that because, but that's not where it's going to be. It's going to be in the right hand or in the forehead. I say, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Really? Revelation chapter 7, verse 2. I want to show you something very, very revealing and very interesting. This is concerning the sealing of the 144,000 of the tribes of Israel. Now, I'm going to stop right here. Okay? I believe the tribes of Israel are the tribes of Israel. Issachar, Manasseh, Joseph, Judah. I believe that they are literally the descendants of all 12 of those brothers who were born of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what I believe. And I'll tell you this. Any and every false doctrine has along with it somehow, some way, a misidentification or replacement of the tribes of Israel. Mark it down. So we have the seal of God on or in their foreheads. Revelation chapter 7, King James, see, I almost fell for it. Revelation 7, verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom is given to hurt this earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have, now listen, the exact language, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Sealed the servants of God in their foreheads. That's what the King James says. In. Sealed in. The NIV and all these guys over here, all the conspirators, notice what they say. Revelation 7:3 in the NIV. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until, listen, look at the language, until we have put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God. Put a seal on the foreheads of our God. Okay? Put a seal on their foreheads. That's like saying that if you want to be part of the 144,000, you got to have a seal, a mark on your forehead. Have you ever seen that before? Take a look at this. You've seen this before, haven't you? It's called the bindi. You know what it is? Okay? It's a mark on the forehead. It's a mark on the forehead. Buddhists do this, and the Hindus do this. They say it represents, it's part of Kundalini, it's part of the awakening, the awareness, the reformation of the human being, turning a mortal into a god. Here's what it means. Okay? In Kundalini, they say that you have, listen to this now, you're going to like this. In Kundalini, which is part of yoga, by the way, all these churches that have these, they're starting to do yoga now. Okay? But in yoga or Kundalini or tantric fornication, they actually have rituals that go along with this that, whatever, anyway. They say that there's a serpent. They say, boy, the serpent, he's good. He's a real wise. Serpent's very, very wise. And they say there's a serpent buried down at the base of your spine. And he wants to rise up. Think about that. He wants to rise up and activate this little part of your brain that's like right here. It's right behind here, called the pineal gland. Okay? So the serpent wants to rise up and inject his wisdom juice and activate your pineal gland, and you have this awakening. Here's the interesting thing. You know, everybody has a pineal gland. You know what it's for? The pineal gland is activated by light or deactivated by light. At night, when all the lights go down, the pineal gland is noting from the eyes that it's dark outside, and it starts releasing a little chemical that makes us sleepy. And in the morning when the sun comes out and its light comes through our windows, the pineal gland is detecting the light through our very, very thin eyelids, and then it stops releasing that little chemical. And then we go, oh, I'm awake now. But see, in the New Age, in the occult world, they say that pineal gland activation makes you awake. It doesn't. It's putting you into a sleep. Think about that. Okay? But that's what this mark on their forehead represents. It means that they have been activated. They've had their eyes. You know what it's called? It's called the third eye. Remember what Lucifer, the serpent, promised in the Garden of Eden to Eve? He said, if you eat of this fruit, you'll have your eyes open and you shall be as gods, little g. Think about that. It's called the third eye. It's actually on the. It's what's represented on the. Notice this graphic here. This guy with his third eye activated. That's the bindi. That's the mark on the forehead. Okay. He has two eyes here, and he has one eye here in the middle of his forehead. That makes it like a little triangle. If you look on the back of the $1 bill, that's exactly what that symbol represents. The two lower parts of the pyramid represent your lower base self that you can only see with two eyes. But that eye there at the apex of the triangle, the all-seeing eye, illuminated, it's awake, it's open. They're telling you that through this activation of your pineal gland by way of this mark on your forehead, now you're going to be... So here all these churches now that are using these Bibles are all talking about a great awakening that's coming. We're all going to have a great awakening. I don't think that they're talking about the same thing that this Bible is talking about. The Roman Catholic Church. Let me just say this. If there's any one organization in the world that is actively trying to get everybody in the world away from this Bible, it's the Jesuits in the Roman Catholic Church. They tried back in 1604 to 1611. They tried to get involved and make sure that this Bible was never translated right. They hated it. They hated England they hated King James for even doing it. They have hated this Bible for 400 years now. And their goal was to get every church in the world away from this Bible. It's working. Roman Catholic Church on Ash Wednesday, Roman Catholic Church says on Fat Tuesday, go drink, smoke, chase women, chase men, do everything in the world, eat lots of fat and all that stuff, because tomorrow you're going to give it all up, okay, in devotion to something. So on Ash Wednesday, you show up, and they put a mark, the seal of God. It's a cross. It's Jesus. They put a mark on your forehead. That's what Revelation in the NIV 7 says. They're going to put a seal, or put the mark on the forehead of the 144,000. You see, Roman Catholicism, they hate the Israelites. They hate them. They've hated them for years. Okay? They have a replacement theology. They believe that now all the Roman Catholics are the real Israel. See, it's replacement. Okay? So now, since we're the real Israel, we need to have a mark on our forehead, because that's what all their Bibles say. Okay? We need to put a mark on their forehead. It actually marks what's called the 40 days of Lent. Now, as I read the King James Bible, I don't see anything in here about the 40 days of Lent. I see that practice nowhere. Well, yeah, I do actually. It denotes the weeping. It's a time of mourning for the dead God. You know who the dead God is? It's the dead Jesus that they carry around on the cross everywhere. You see, Roman Catholicism is all about the dead Jesus. You know what the Mass is? The Mass is that they're killing Jesus all over again. It's called the sacrifice of the Mass. They are killing Jesus every time the Mass is performed. And so Lent is about the weeping for the dead God who is in the underworld. And He's going to rise up. See, they put ashes on your head. He's going to rise up from the ashes. Think of the serpent, Kundalini. See, it's all the same mystery doctrine, different names. The serpent is the dead God, and he needs to rise up out of the low place that he's in, called hell. He's going to rise up out of the ashes and come to life again. That actually is in the Bible in Ezekiel chapter 8, King James. Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 13, He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then He brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. You know who Tammuz was? You listen to this now, because we're going to see it again. Tammuz was a son of the gods who had been slain. He had been killed, and he was buried, and he was in the netherworld. He was in Hades. He was under fire. And all these women, see, the Israelites had picked up quickly on the Babylonian mystery religion. Roman Catholicism has been around for thousands of years, just under a different name. And they had followed this thing. Rick Warren's 40 Days of Purpose is based upon Lent. Okay, that's what it's based on. And so they're weeping for Tammuz. They're weeping, they're mourning, they're lamenting him. That's what Lent is all about. But here's an interesting thing. Okay, and I'm going to show you. You're going to like this. Okay, let's go back to this picture again of this ash mark on people's foreheads. Did you know that every year, Ash Wednesday, even though it marks a 40-day period of Lent, Ash Wednesday is precisely 46 days before Easter. What does that have to do with anything? Did you know that you have little X's in your body called chromosomes? You know how many of them you have? You have 46. We've talked about this on many videos that we've done. The number 46 is the number for death and sacrifice and everything like that. It is the number 46 is one of the high occult numbers. It denotes the rebuilding or the reestablishment of the old religion that worshipped Tammuz and all these other gods who had been slain, these sons of the gods. We're going to talk about them here in just a little bit. We're going to go to the book of Daniel. In fact, I want to make this real simple. Okay, I like to make